Learn how to accelerate your lead flow with PPC or pay-per-click advertising for appliance repair companies. Hi, my name is Marlon. I'm with the Appliance Experts, and today we're going to talk about how you can get more leads for your appliance repair business using pay-per-click advertising. Now, this is part of our 2018 appliance repair online marketing strategy, where we're covering several online marketing strategies that appliance repair companies can use to maximize the amount of leads that come into them on a daily basis. So this is what we recommend if you want to have the most extensive form of online marketing for your appliance repair business, where you just don't have slow days. This is what you'd be looking at. So number one there, you'll see we're using Google, Bing, and Yahoo to get leads. Number two would be the PPC or the pay-per-click advertising, which the most popular one is Google AdWords, but you can also do some with Bing ads and Yahoo ads as well. Then there's social media, right, at number three. Number four would be directory listings like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Angie's List. Number five would be email marketing. All right, and using social media as well to stay top of mind of your consumers and to ask for referrals. Number six would be lead generation providers, right, where you pay for leads and not necessarily just advertising. And then number seven is using video, which Facebook and YouTube are the ones primarily where you'd want to post online videos to help get you new customers. And then number eight will be gift cards, newsletters, and a reward program to incentivize consumers to actually refer your appliance repair company to their friends and family. So there's several online webinars that we've already posted on our blog and YouTube channel. So depending on when you're watching this, there may be multiple ones that you can find there. We're covering several different topics. So we're going to talk about SEO as well, Google Maps, right, and several online marketing strategies. So feel free to go over there and take a look at that. Now, before we get started, I need your attention. All right, I know you guys are busy running an appliance repair company. But if you are serious about learning how to get more appliance repair leads, then the next 45 to 60 minutes could be critical for your business. All right, so please turn off the cell phones. If you have Facebook open, let's go ahead and log out of that. And let's talk about what we're going to cover today. Why PPC is key to unlimited scalability in terms of lead flow for your appliance repair business. We're going to also talk about how to set up and structure your pay-per-click marketing campaign for minimum cost per lead and maximum return on investment. We're going to talk about KPIs, or key profit indicators. We're going to talk about tracking, right, landing pages, and how you should structure your campaign. And if you stay to the end, I want to incentivize you with a few different bonuses. So the first bonus I want to give you is the Ultimate Appliance Repair Online Marketing Checklist. Now, this is a checklist that we use whenever we're doing an audit for an appliance repair company to basically analyze all the different online marketing channels that they have going on right now. So I'll give you that. The second bonus is I want to give you some of the most commonly searched appliance repair keywords, whether you want to target those for SEO or you want to use those for pay-per-click. And then the third image is this online marketing dominance blueprint. So I'll send that to you so you can get a closer look at it, so you can see what that should look like and those different 8 steps and what's involved there. So who am I and why should you listen to me? I'm the author of How to Generate a Flood of Leads, Customers, Profits for Your Appliance Repair Business. I'm widely accepted as the premier expert in internet marketing for appliance repair industry. I work with several appliance repair businesses across the U.S., and I'm a consultant, speaker, and trainer for online marketing agencies. We are appliance repair marketing experts. This is all we do day in, day out. Primarily what we do is lead generation services for appliance repair companies, but we do some consulting as well. But what we're showing you today is things that we actually do, right? So it's not theory, it's not things that we're guessing, right? We're showing you some strategies that we use on a daily basis to get, 20, 30, 50 leads a day for some of our appliance repair clients. So why PPC should be part of your internet marketing strategy? Number one is you want leads quickly, right? You don't want to wait days, weeks, months, which is what happens when you're doing things like SEO. In some cases, SEO can take 8 months to a year, right, to start seeing anything consistent as far as leads are concerned. With PPC or pay-per-click, you can pretty much set up an ad and have leads the same day, right? So that's one of the main benefits with it. And you can show up as often as possible when consumers are looking for appliance repair, right? So if you want to have a 24-hour campaign to capture as much leads as possible, you could potentially do that. Most appliance repair companies, though, they more so just do a 9 to 5. But if you wanted to do also an after-hours schedule and charge a little bit extra for emergency service, if that's something you offer, you can do that with PPC advertising. It also allows you to show up for non-geo-modified terms. And what I mean by that is a keyword without the city attached to it, right? So assuming you're in San Diego, one of the most common search terms is going to be appliance repair San Diego, right? But not all consumers are going to type the city. Actually, consumers are getting, you could say they're lazy, right? So they want to do the least amount of work as possible. So instead of typing the city now, they're just doing appliance repair. Okay, or if it's a refrigerator problem, they may just do fridge repair. So you want to be able to show up for both, though, because there are some consumers that are going to type the city and some that aren't. PPC allows you to show up for either version of that particular keyword. The next benefit is that it has unlimited scalability, right? So if you wanted to take over your local market, and you wanted to just put as much money as you can into advertising with PPC, you could do that. All right. We'll compare it to something like SEO. With SEO, even if you had 10,000 a month to put into a campaign, there's only so much an SEO company can do for you. And the reason is it's not all up to the SEO company, right? There's certain factors that are out of their hands, which in most cases, what I'm referring to here is Google, right? An SEO company doesn't control what Google do. They know a few things that Google like, but they don't know everything that Google likes. So they can only move at a certain pace, right? And they don't want to move too fast because then your website will get penalized. With PPC advertising, if you wanted to put 10,000 in it today, you could, and there's no penalties or no, you could be the #1 ad in every single town in your local service area and for every single appliance repair that's out there. Next, let's talk about why PPC campaigns fail. Now this is really important because most appliance repair companies that try PPC advertising end up thinking it's a waste of time or they lost so much money doing it, right? But it is its own skill, right? So just like appliance repairs, it is its own skill. Someone that, a plumber then may not be, even though he's used to fixing things around the home, is not the best person to fix an appliance, right? Usually companies that specialize in PPC advertising or sell that service don't do SEO, right? It's a separate skill, and there's a lot of things that go into it. So the number one reason though is that most appliance repair companies fail to understand the way the AdWords auction process works and the complexity of the industry, right? They just go and they just put up an ad and put 100, 200 keywords in there and they let it run. All right. They set up one ad group for all the services. So refrigerator repair, stove repair, dryer repair, everything goes into one ad group when it should be separated, right? So refrigerator repair should have its own ad group, stove repair has its own ad group, and so on and so forth. They don't use specific text ads and landing pages for ad groups or keywords. So what I mean by that is most appliance repair companies just create a generic ad, right? Which just says appliance repair. We provide appliance repair in your local service area. We've been in business XYZ years. And that's the same ad that they show, right? But if you are doing a refrigerator, if you're targeting refrigerator repair, that ad should be something about refrigerator repair, right? Not just appliance repair. If someone's typing in my refrigerator is not cooling, that's what should be on the ad, right? Is the refrigerator broken? Is it not cooling? Those things will get consumers to click on your ad because it's specific to what they're looking for. Now, when they get to the landing page of your website or the page of your website where they go, if they click on the ad takes them to your website. You don't want them to go to the home page of the website. If it's a refrigerator problem, you want them to go to the refrigerator repair page on your website. So if you don't have a page for every single service of your website, you want to get that in place if you're running Google AdWords right now. All right. If you're thinking about doing it, these are some of the things you want to get in place first. All right. So no strong call to action or offer on the landing page. Now, this actually applies to both the ad and the landing page. So what I mean by a call to action is you want to tell the consumers what you want them to do. Is it that you want them to call, right? Which that should be the number one thing. Another call to action is to visit your website, but I'm a big believer in getting them on the phone, right? Because sometimes consumers, they go from the ad and then they go to the website and then they get distracted somewhere in between that. All right. So a strong call to action, tell them what you want them to do. Call us now is a great example of what you want them to do. All right. Visit our website is another example. Now, this is an example of several different keywords that are being put into an ad group, right? And the ad, if someone were to click on the ad for one of these type of ad groups, they would just go to the home page of the website. So this is something that you don't want to do. So now let's talk about how to structure and set up your pay-per-click marketing campaign for minimum cost per lead and maximum return on investment. So the first thing I want to recommend that you have in place is conversion tracking. Now this is very important because this is going to tell you if PPC advertising is working for you. You really should have conversion tracking on any form of advertising you're doing, whether it's online or offline. But we'll just stick to PPC for now. PPC conversion tracking is going to tell you things like how many clicks is it taking you to get a phone call. Why is that important? Because that's going to start to tell you how much it's costing you to acquire a lead, right? And a lead for an appliance repair company is a person that actually calls with a major appliance repair. All right, so you want to be able to track things like that. Your campaign must be broken into smaller ad groups that target the various services that you offer so that the text ad match what the person typed into the search engine. Make sure you have a strong understanding of keyword match types and don't forget about negative keywords. We'll go into that a little bit more in depth on the upcoming slide. You need to write compelling text ad that resonates with what the customer typed in and entice them to click on your ad versus the competition. You want to leverage ad extension to make your ad stand out on the page. All right, ad extensions, and I'm going to show you an example of it. Ad extensions make a bigger ad for you. So if you ever advertised, or if you think about an ad in the newspaper, right, there's different size ads, right? There's the full page ad, the half page ad, the classified, and ad extensions done correctly will be like a half page ad then, versus a regular ad without the extensions, more like a classified ad. So hopefully that makes sense. It doesn't cost anything for you to have an ad extension, so you definitely want to use it, and you will get more clicks, which is ultimately going to lead to more phone calls. So definitely consider testing it. You have to land visitors on a solid, well thought out page on your website that's built to convert, right? So whatever page the consumer is going to get to once they click on the ad, you want that page to speak to them and tell them exactly why they should hire you, right? You want to do ongoing split testing and tweaking and fine-tuning with AdWords. So PPC advertising is not one of those set it and forget it, right? It's something that you have to get into daily, or at a minimum weekly basis, right? And then when you find an ad that works, you should try and test to see if you can find a better ad, right? Because if you can create a better ad that converts better, it improves the quality score of your ad, which as a result bring down the costs, right? So as a appliance repair business owner, you're always trying to see if you can lower costs and maximize your return on investment. So split testing is one way you can do that. So don't even think about spending another penny until you have conversion tracking in place. Now let's talk about some conversion tracking essentials. You should have a dynamic phone number that swaps from PPC, organic, or direct traffic. What that means is you want to know where your leads are coming from, right? Did it come from Google AdWords? Did it come from your SEO efforts? Or was it like a referral or an existing customer that they already knew what your website was, so they just, typed it into the browser and they came from there? It's important to that. You just don't want to know that, okay, I got 300 leads this month, but I don't know where they came from, right? You need to know, because once you know, you can better optimize how you spend your money, right? So maybe you'll find out that, one particular source of leads is not working as well, so you can maybe minimize the budget there. You don't necessarily have to turn it off, because you may still be getting leads from it. But if you realize that PPC is working a lot better for you, then you could spend more money there. You could also look into, if you're just doing AdWords, then you could look into maybe experimenting with Bing ads or Yahoo ads. So dynamic phone numbers help separate the different sources of leads, so you know what's really working. A keyword pool with a dynamic phone number swapping, so that you can track phone calls back to the keyword and the campaign. So this is important, right? Because you want to know, you may end up with hundreds, if not thousands, of keywords in an ad group. It's important to know which one works, right? So you can focus more on the ones that work, and you may think about eliminating, once you get up to that level where you have hundreds or thousands, this will help you eliminate the ones that don't work. And then your campaign will just be left with actual keywords that generate leads for you on a regular basis. These are things, again, that will improve the quality score of your campaign and bring down the cost of what you pay per click. And then there's web form tracking. So if you have a form on your website for consumers to fill out, which you should, because not all consumers are going to be able to call you, especially during normal business hours. Some can't be on the phone while they're at work. Having a web form on your website is a great way to capture some additional leads for those people that can't necessarily speak on the phone at 9 to 5. Conversion tracking built into your AdWords campaign to determine which ad group generate the leads. All right, so we just don't want to know what keyword, but we also want to know what ad group are generating the most leads, so we can optimize those. Now let's talk about some important key performance indicators when it comes to PPC. So total spend, right? So how much you're spending each month. Average cost per click, right? Because this is going to be important when we're talking about how many clicks does it take you to get a phone call. All right. The average cost per lead. And we need to know that for calls as well as web forms. Now, if you're running an efficient campaign, what you can expect to see with PPC advertising is somewhere in this range to actually get a lead. So somewhere from 5 to 40 per lead. Right? And then we want to be able to track our return on investment. So is this thing really working for us? Right? And then this can vary from city to city, country to country. So you definitely want to be able to track this information so you know what's really working for you. All right, so we talked about when you set up a campaign, you want to have the campaign broken into smaller ad groups. So a lot of appliance repair companies, they create one campaign and they put multiple ad groups in there, or just one ad group, but with a ton of keywords in there, as much keywords as they could find. You want to break this up at a minimum by the different services that you offer. So you have one ad group for refrigerator repair, another ad group for oven repair, another for dishwasher repair. And then if you want, you can also start segmenting the ad groups by brands. So like all the Whirlpool type services go into one ad group. All right. Keyword types matter. So we talked about the different match types when it comes to keyword. So the first one we're going to take a look at here is the broad match, right, which is on the top left of your screen there, right? You just target appliance repair. Now broad match is, think about these as the most expensive keywords for you. The reason is these are the ones that are going to bring in unrelated searches. All right, so broad match means Google could pretty much send you any type of consumer, as long as it has to do with repair. So if someone was looking for a car repair, lawnmower repair, all these broad match keywords here you see it on the upper left could bring in those type of searches for you. All right, so you want to monitor those very closely. That's the downside of the broad match, but also the broad match is going to bring you good keyword searches as well, right? Because it's going to bring in things that that you can use to continue to expand your keywords, so you can get additional leads. But if you're running any type of broad match keywords, you definitely want to monitor your negative keywords, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. All right. And notice with the match type here in the upper left compared to the other types that I have. So the phrase match has quotes around them, and the modified broad match has the plus signs. That's exactly how you set them up, right? So if you wanted just the word appliance repair here in the left-hand side of the screen here, let's say you had it as a broad match, you don't want to keep it that way, you don't want to change it to a phrase match, you would just need to put the quotes around it and then select it within AdWords there. So phrase match is the next one we want to talk about, where this one you could still get some negative searches from it, right? And what I mean by negative searches is searches you don't want, like we talked about the lawnmower repair or the car repair. So this limits it. What this means is whatever the consumer types in, these words must be contained in there. All right. Now it could have something after it. So it could be appliance repair. Let's say the consumer typed in appliance repair near me in Austin, Texas. Your ad will still show because it has appliance repair near me in the ad. All right. The next one I want to talk about at the bottom there is modified broad match. All right, now this is similar to the phrase match, but you can have words before it or after it. So what I mean by that, if we look at the first one, modified broad match, the search must have the word appliance repair in there, right? But it could have something before it, like same day appliance repair, all right? Or it could have something after it, like appliance repair in San Diego. So that keyword would still show up in either forms. Now the broad match modifier is a little bit safer approach, because it's not going to necessarily pull in things like car repair, although it could. But with these type of match types, with the modified broad match, you're telling them on the first one, it must contain appliance repair. The second one, fridge service, the consumer search must contain the word fridge service. All right, so here are some negative keywords that you want to look out for. As a matter of fact, if you don't have these in your campaign, you can make a note to add them. So some of the common negative searches that we see show up has to do with jobs, right? You don't want to get people clicking on your ads looking for an appliance repair job. All right. If it's blenders and you don't service them, you don't want your ads showing up, right? Because all these things cost money. Parts is a big one, and pressure washer is another common one that tends to show up. So pay attention to your negative keywords. I recommend you check those on a daily basis, but at least on a weekly basis at a minimum. So you need to write compelling ads that resonate with what consumers typed in to the search engines to entice them to click on your ad versus your competition. So when it comes to writing compelling text ads, less is more, right? You want to be concise. Tell them exactly what you want them to do, right? Don't give them a bunch of information and then they get confused, all right? If you have a special offer, like if you're doing a $25 off service or 25% off, you want to reference that in the ad, because those things are going to help consumers to choose your ad versus the competition. And then you want to give them one decision, right? Don't say call, visit my website. Just tell them call now. Don't offer them to do too many options, because these are things that, believe it or not, will confuse some consumers and they'll just click on a more simple ad. Now, here's an example of a company that's using the ad extension. So at the very top there, you see the ad extension they have. They're using several ad extensions here, but they're using the location extension, and then they're using another extension for refrigerator repair and in-home service, right? Look how big that first ad is compared to the other three below it. We talked about using ad extensions kind of give you that half page, like, advertising in the newspaper, and the other ads are like classified. So if we could match these up, this first ad is almost the size of all three ads combined. All right. And it gives you the opportunity to, sell your service more. This company is actually a great job. We're not just looking at this for the extension, but I just want to make a note of, look what they have in the headline of the ad: $65 off and free quote repairs, right? Those are two great things to get consumers to call in. The second ad here that I want to make a note of, not to be off topic, but they're doing some really good things here. 1-year warranty, right? How many appliance repair companies offer that? And then 20% off repair. So, right, so they're doing some good things there. Sears, they do the 20% off. Look at the last ad though. Their headline, it's not a lot doing. Let me see if I can adjust the screen here so you can see the rest of it. But their headline is not that compelling compared to the other ones, right? They do have a few things here. I see adjusting the screen. Our repair technicians are fully licensed and insured. Those are great. 20+ year experience. Those are great, but there's definitely some improvement that they could do with the headline there, right? The website, consumers don't care about that too much. An appliance repair, right? The headline is value over real estate. So you want to put things in there that's going to get consumers to call, right? So the discounts, free quote or repairs, I mean, these are things that they're looking for. Same day service, all those things would be great. And the ad extensions make the ad jump off the page. Now this is the Google Maps section of the search engines, and I wanted to show you that the ads, this is something relatively new over the last few months, where you can get your ads to show up in the Google Maps section. Now, one way for doing that is that you have to enable the location ad extension to be able to show up here. You know, a lot of companies are confused how to get in there. They're running PPC ads, but they can't get into the actual map section. And the reason is they haven't enabled the location extension there. So that's how you can get that done. Normally I see one ad here, but you know, we're starting to see two. Google AdWords is the major or the number one revenue provider for AdWords, right? They make a few billion every quarter, and that's billion with a B, every quarter off just ads. So we're going to see more of these ads show up, right? The map section, the organic section. So, you know, they're trying to maximize their return on investment there. All right, so let's talk about the landing page, right? So you want to send visitors to a solid, well thought out page on your website that's built to convert, right? So when you're doing ads, there's two steps, right? If they're not going to call from the ad, then the next step is they're going to come to your website, and that's where you have to convince them to call your appliance repair company over the competition. So here's an example, and this is actually a plumbing site that I found, but it's great. It has a lot of conversion elements. The first one is the phone number. Notice how big and bold that phone number is in the upper right hand corner. Now there's actually studies that show that when a consumer comes to the website, where their eyes go is that upper right hand corner. So that's why you want the phone number there, big and bold. And when someone comes to an appliance repair website, they're really not coming to the website to, you know, spend a lot of time reading. What they're trying to do is actually pick up the phone and call, because it's an emergency type niche, right? If the fridge is broken and food is spoiling, they just want someone to come out like right now. All right, so that's really what they're looking for. The other thing is, notice that $25 off, right? So they're offering a discount to get the consumer to call. Right below that, they have 548 customer reviews, right? If you don't have reviews on your site, you need to get it on there. This is really important because a lot of consumers now, and this is the pattern that we've been seeing over the last few years, consumers are checking reviews first before calling. All right, if this company has 548 5-star reviews, that signals to the customer that, you know, they're not going to have a problem with this company. And if we go to the left there, just to the left of the $25 off section there, honest expert service you deserve, friendly expert technician, no hassle upfront pricing, 100% satisfaction guarantee. What they're doing here is answering a lot of questions that's in the customer's mind, right? Are they going to get ripped off? That's a main question a consumer have when they're calling any type of service company, whether it's a plumber or an appliance repair company. Are they going to get an expert technician out there, or is it going to be, you know, someone that just came out of a appliance repair school, right? They want someone that's experienced, that's going to fix the problem right then and there, right? Is it going to be upfront pricing, right? They want to know the price up front and not, not the tech go and fix the appliances and then they have a huge bill, right? They need that pricing up front so they could determine whether to get it repaired or just replace it. And 100% satisfaction guarantee, that's telling them that if there is a problem, the company is going to stand behind it and do whatever it takes to fix it, to make them happy as a consumer. All right, so this was a great example. It has a lot of great elements. And as you can see, everything here is telling them, we are the company you need to choose, if you have a plumbing problem. And that's how it should be when consumers come to your page. After clicking on your ad, your PPC ad, they should come to a web page and make them feel like, yeah, this is the appliance repair company that we need to fix our appliances. All right, so we've covered a lot of information, a lot of key elements when it comes to running a successful PPC advertising. So I just want to summarize everything for you now. All right, so the number one thing I highly recommend is that you get conversion tracking. It's a must. All right, if not, you could be losing a lot of money with PPC advertising. Your campaign must be broken into smaller ad groups that target the different services that you provide. And your text ad must match what the person typed in. Now, this isn't going to be always the case if you have an ad group with multiple keywords in there. But another option you can do, and this is somewhat advanced, but I'm going to put it out there, is to have one ad group per keyword. And then at that point, everything matches up at least 90-95% of the time. Make sure you have a strong understanding of keyword match types, and don't forget about negative keywords. So I didn't cover the exact match type there, which is the other one that's available, but it's important to know how those work, right? The broad match is the one you have to be very careful with. I usually recommend companies when they're just starting out, start with exact match, start with phrase match, and then work your way into the broad match modifier if you're not getting any leads, and then the broad match last. But once you start running broad match, you want to check the negative keywords. Highly recommend that if you're not checking those on a regular basis, and some of you watching this may be like, where the heck do I find negative keywords? I don't have a screenshot of it to show you right now, but just call AdWords and ask them, how do I find my negative keywords? And they'll walk you through it. This is where a lot of companies are losing money. So you definitely want to check this, and then you want to start excluding these negative keywords. So you may be wondering, if someone typed in blender then and you don't fix blenders, how can you exclude that? As well as there may be other services or other searches that your ads are showing up, but you don't make much money on it. So you don't want to get those type of calls from Google AdWords, right? So let's say you do sell parts, but your margins aren't that big on parts. So you don't want to spend money on a PPC advertising to get parts calls coming in. So you could exclude the word parts, as well as specific parts that may show up, like a dryer pulley, all right, gaskets, things like that. You need to write compelling text ads that resonate with what the consumer type in and entice them to click on your ad versus the competition. So remember, they're seeing multiple ads, right? So what you type into that headline, number one, is going to be the factor that grabs their attention, right? And then you have the description, which helps to get more conversion. And then we talked about using ad extensions to even make your ad stand out more on the page. And there's multiple extensions that you can use to make that ad look bigger, right? And you'll definitely get a lot more clicks. Now, it's something you want to test, right? It's going to make your ad bigger and you get more clicks, but what kind of clicks are you getting? And this is where that conversion tracking comes back in, right? Because if you get more clicks, but it's more parts clicks, then it may not be that advantageous for you, but it's important to test it. All right. You have to land visitors on a solid, well thought out page on your website that's built to convert. So we talked about different conversion elements, having the phone number big and bold in the upper right hand corner. Something else I'd recommend, we talked about, or you saw that particular plumbing site that had the number of reviews, but what would be even better is having whether it's a screenshot or actual reviews of the customers, of some of your past customers, that a consumer could read and see the actual reviews. So you could have that there. You could talk about or have an image of Yelp if you have Yelp reviews, and Google reviews. If you're accredited by the Better Business Bureau, you could have that image there. Right? All those are great conversion elements that you want to offer, and everyone loves a discount. So if you can offer a discount, you want to have that on there. And usually a discount, don't think about the discount of being off your trip charge or your service call fee. Where you'd want to do the discount is off the completed repair. So that would be like the fine print you want to include. Now, one of the things that may be going on in your mind is, man, PPC advertising seems complicated. And I just don't have time for it, right? You're running a business. I always say to any appliance repair company that I've consulted with, or existing clients, I've told them, like, you're going to make your most money fixing appliances, not trying to do the advertising yourself. However, if you're small, if you're a one-man type operation, you may need to wear multiple hats, and that's what it is for small businesses, right? You're the accountant, you're the marketing guy, you're the technician, right? Your accounts payable, accounts receivable. You wear multiple hats, and that's okay, all right? But as soon as you get to the level where you can hire a company to do the advertising for you, whether it's on a broad scale where you find an online marketing company to handle everything for you, you want to start outsourcing that part, or start hiring out that portion of it, or you may take the opposite approach and hire an in-house person to start doing some of this for you. So if you're thinking, hey, I don't want to do this on my own, I have the money to hire a company, but how do I choose a good company? Here are a few questions that you'd want to ask them. So the first question is, ask them how much of the budget that they're telling you need to spend each month will actually goes towards spending money on advertising versus their management fee. All right. So how most PPC management companies work is, they'll tell you need to spend, for example, $5,000 a month. All right. And then they take a percentage, not take a percentage, but they add a percentage on top of that. And usually that's somewhere between, I'd say, 10 to 20% of what you spend. All right. So you're looking at about 500 to 1,000 if you're spending around 5,000 a month in management fees. All right. So you want to know how much, if they're recommending a budget, how much of that is going to be part of their management fee. All right. What type of tracking will they put in place? Actually, one quick thing before I move on to that second point there, which is important. If you hire a management company, you need to now calculate their management fee into what is costing you per lead to see if it makes sense. A lot of companies make this mistake and they just use what they spend with Google AdWords as the expense, but the management fee is now an additional expense. So you want to factor that in to see if it's worth it, because that could be the breaking point, or whether it's a successful campaign because of those additional fees. All right, so definitely get the tracking in place. And you want to be able to track a phone call versus someone that just entered their information into the web form. If you don't have web or call tracking that connects to AdWords, you'll be at a major disadvantage with your competition. And you want to be able to, with the tracking, to differentiate the different sources of your leads. All right. So did it come from PPC or was it organic? How will you track your key performance indicators? All right. Depending on the company, if you hire a company, the management company will provide you with some type of dashboard, or they should, right? They should have a dashboard that you can log into at any point in time and just see these key metrics, right? You don't need to see everything that's going on, but you want to see things like total leads, cost per lead, right? Just the major things so you can see whether or not this thing is working. All right. You don't need to necessarily know how many negative keywords were going on there. You just want to know, is this thing working? Is it getting us leads at an affordable cost where we're actually making a return on investment? Will they be setting up landing pages for you for each ad group, or is it just one page on the website that they're sending the traffic to? Remember, we talked about this. You want to have separate landing pages, right? So you don't want to send someone just to the home page of the website, right? If they typed in dishwasher repair, they need to go on a page on your website that's all about dishwasher repair. If they type in stove repair, they need to go to a page on your website all about stove repair. So if you're driving landing pages, if you're driving traffic to landing pages, how will the pages be optimized for conversion, right? We talked about the different conversion elements, so they should be able to tell you what type of conversion elements are going to be on those landing pages. And they should be able to show you examples as well. Are they going to split test the ads for each ad group, right? And then how often do they split test ads? Will they be leveraging ad extensions for you to make the text ads stand out in the search results? And will they be tracking that to see whether or not ad extensions actually work for your particular market? What are the targets in terms of cost per lead and return on investment, right? They should have a goal for you. What type of return on investment? Because you're paying them this management fee. You need to get some type of return on investment. And what goals are they seeing right now? What are the averages and what can they do for you? All right, so hopefully that all made sense. Let's talk about now how some other elements that we use to set up our PPC campaigns for success. And we run campaigns every single day for our clients, to get them a consistent flow of leads. So we split the campaigns into strategic ad groups based on our experience in the appliance repair business to help target the most profitable services, right? So notice I didn't just say all services, right? We're focused on the more profitable services like refrigerator repair. For our clients that do high-end, we definitely targeting some of those high-end brands like the Sub-Zeros and Thermadors because of the larger profit margin for them. We set up conversion optimized landing pages. We set up true conversion optimization so that all the conversion, whether it's call or web form submissions, can be tracked and associated with a campaign and the keywords within AdWords so that we can adjust the bid and the spend strategy based on the campaigns and the keywords to drive the best conversion. There's a huge difference between simple call tracking, right? Call tracking is at the basic level, right? You should have that in place so that will tell you where the leads are coming from, right? But we need to drill down a little bit more when it comes to PPC campaigns. We want to know what keywords are working, what ad groups are working. All right. We know exactly how many calls come from PPC versus organic, right? And for some, we have access to the recordings to actually get more information about those calls if we need to. Now, something really important before we move on to the next one is recording of calls can be instrumental for your business. What I mean by that is I've spoken to a lot of appliance repair companies that are getting a lot of leads. And what they're trying to do is actually bring on additional lead sources because they're just thinking of it as a numbers game. But sometimes it's not that you need more leads. It's just that you need to convert more of the leads that you already have coming in into customers, right? So this is where call recordings can come in to be instrumental with that type of situation, because your problem could be the person answering the phone. So you may not be answering the phone. You could have, you could hire, whether it's an answering service or you have an in-house person answering the phone. How are they handling the calls when they come in, right? So these recordings, you could listen to them and analyze that type of situation, right? So it could be, not necessarily just for quality control, but for training purposes. Right? You listen to some of those recordings and like, man, we could have did this or we could have done that to actually get the call. All right. So call recordings can be very beneficial if you're not using it. And usually that could be a part of call tracking. We've talked about call tracking. We have several articles on our website about that and in some of the past webinars. But it's so cheap. I mean, you get a phone number that's $1 a month, and I think the per minute charge is somewhere around 5 cents, depending on the company you go with. But I think it's so worth it because it helps you uncover a lot when it comes to converting on the phone. All right, so we know which keywords within the ad groups drove the calls and at what cost. This makes it possible for us to optimize based on keywords that result in calls and stop wasting money on keywords that don't net a result, right? There's going to be some keywords in your campaigns that all they do is get negative searches, right? Competitor type searches, part searches, right? Things you don't do, right? Get them out of the campaign, right? You only want keywords in your campaigns that are performing, right? And then you always want to be testing new keywords, all right, to see if those could be new performers. For each ad group, we set up multiple text ads and we rotate them based on the best converting ad each month. Now, what we found with appliance repairs, you don't want to have more than 2 ads at a time, all right, because what happens, depending on the city you're in, if you're in a huge city like Houston, let's say New York City, LA, then you may have more. But the reason I typically just recommend 2 is if you're in a smaller city, it's going to take you longer to get the data. All right. So you don't necessarily need to test more than 2 ads at a time. All right. Because you want to be able to get that data like within a month or so, 1 to 2 months the most. So you can make a decision of what's working and what's not working. All right. You want to take a look at the click-through rates on those ads. You want to take a look at the quality scores, and finding a good converting ad is going to help those quality scores to go up, improve over time. And what that does, if quality score goes up, cost goes down. All right, which is exactly what we want. And we have a KPI dashboard that we look at to monitor the leads to help keep track of these important metrics, so we can compare ad spend to return on investment and to profits for our clients. So if you stayed on to the end, I did promise you I'd give you these bonuses. So we have the Appliance Repair Online Marketing Checklist, most commonly searched keywords, all right, and then this online dominance infographic here that I want to send over to you. Just take a look in the chat box. If you're on this live, you'll see a link that you can click on to get these bonuses. The other thing you can do, if you want to just put your email in the chat box, I can email it directly to you. I'm just providing the link as well because the link, sometimes with emails, they end up with spam or they don't come through for whatever reason. But whatever is more convenient for you, either just click on the link that you should see there. If you are watching the replay of this when we post this, then it should be on our blog, right? So if you go over to our website, you should see a link to possibly get these bonus, although this is really for the live participants. All right, so the other bonus I want to offer you is I want to give you a free 2018 online marketing review, right? This is where we're going to take a look at your online visibility. I can send you a custom keyword list for your particular service area if you want. We can take a look at a ranking report to see where your website is currently ranking if you're trying to do some SEO. We can take a look at online directories to see where your appliance repair company is listed online. We can take a look at your online reviews and online reputation, which if you're not focusing on online reputation now, you need to. It's going to be, if you take anything away from this webinar, is start working on your online reputation. It's going to become more important to you in the future. And if you can get ahead of it now, and primarily on a basic level, what we're talking about is reviews. More and more consumers are going to start looking for reviews before picking up that phone. So if you want to start collecting reviews from now, when it becomes more important in the future, at least you'll have a ton of good reviews. All right, now just talking about reviews here, there's always, you're not going to always have good reviews. There's going to be bad. So if you start collecting reviews from now, when you get the bad ones that come in, because we can't please everyone, it's going to help cushion those. All right, and you'll still have a good online rating, like on Yelp or the Google reviews. So we can also take a look at your social presence when we talk. And we can take a look at the different conversion elements on your website. All right, so that's all part of the 2018 online marketing review. You can go to this website link here, appliancerepairmarketingsecrets.com/schedule, if you'd like to take advantage of that, or just give us a call at 866-561-5627. Again, that's 866-561-5627, or visit us on the website Appliance Repair Marketing Secrets with an s.com/schedule. I hope you guys enjoyed this webinar as much as I did preparing it for you. I like to get this information out there, and I look forward to speaking with you on the next webinar. Take care, guys.